My baby, concentrate cautiously. The time is now. This isn't always an ordinary message, and you have to no longer take it gently. There's something shifting inside the unseen, something moving in the geographical regions that cannot be touched with the aid of human arms. You have been strolling via a season of silence, and you've burdened that silence for absence. However, the heavens have not forgotten you. The throne is still watching. The angels are still transferring, and your name has been whispered again. There are voices you have trusted, hearts you've got clung to, fingers you have got held tightly within the storms. However, now the shaking has started. The very those who once swore loyalty are quietly on foot away. Do now not beg them to stay. Do not chase what I've ordained to depart. My toddler, your name has been referred to in rooms you did now not enter. And now not all mentions come from love. There are folks that smiled at you at the same time as drawing the map of your removal. You experience it, don't you? That odd heaviness? That query that may not leave your soul alone. You awaken and something feels off. You try to convince yourself that the entirety is pleasant, but the spirit within you continues sounding the alarm. You aren't wrong. What you sense is actual. Something has shifted. And its miles confirmed you will be replaced via a person quickly. Now not because of who you are. No longer due to the fact you failed. But due to the fact there are hearts that grew jealous even as pretending to cheer you on. They watched your rising and praised your humility. But behind the curtains, their hearts festered with envy. They prayed with you, cried with you, dined with you, and nevertheless plotted your displacement. You trusted them. You let them see your battles, your scars, your fears. However, they took your openness as weak spot. And now, they may be getting ready to transport on your area. But concentrate. This isn't always the end for you. This is not a fall. It smiles a redirection. You may be replaced, but only from the location in which your destiny no longer lives. The position they're so desperate to grab from your fingers turned into in no way the very last vacation spot. What they do not know is this. Your removal is heaven's rescue. They accept as true with they are pushing you out. However, in truth, I am pulling you ahead. You are not created to sit down in small places, to dim your lighting fixtures so others sense relaxed. That season is over. The time of shrinking is completed. This is the moment you'll be pulled from the counterfeit crown so I'm able to region the actual one upon your head. They assume they have got gained. Let them suppose so. They believe you've been defeated. Allow them to consider it. They'll soon see the only they attempted to update rise to a stage no ladder of betrayal can attain. They replaced you, however they can't reflect you. What I placed in you cannot be copied. What I assigned to you can't be stolen. They could take the seat, however they can't bring the dignity. The space they've driven you from will now emerge as their very own prison. And also you, my toddler, you will bounce. Permit your tears fall. You depended on them. You gave them access in your coronary heart, and that they misused it. They fed off your mild, drank from your pleasure, but by no means poured back. When your call got here up in rooms where on a need to have lived, they chose silence as opposed to defense. My infant, this hurts. I realize. However, I have to tug you away from the individuals who learned your ways simply to take advantage of your grace. Do now not name them returned. Do no longer explain yourself once more. Do no longer provide your heart to what already broke it. Let them cross. Allow them to talk. Let them sit for your shadow, but never again at your desk. You were in no way supposed to be fed on with the aid of betrayal. You have been supposed to upward push in glory that can't be counterfeited. Your soul has cried out in secret, wondering why the whole thing is falling apart. But it isn't falling apart. It's miles falling into region. I am eliminating you from their schedule and putting you on my course. I am stripping you from fake birthday party to clothe you in divine elevation. They idea your story ended at their betrayal. But your tale simplest starts in which their plans fall apart. Watch and notice what I do subsequent. My toddler, do now not end up bitter. Do no longer permit their moves mold your heart into stone. You're nonetheless called to love, to walk in mild, to expose mercy. But mercy doesn't suggest returning to the very location in which your soul was overwhelmed. You could forgive and nevertheless stroll away. You could bless them and still let pass. You may carry light and nonetheless shield your fire from folks that handiest got here to dim it. Let the silence teach you. Let the tears water your subsequent harvest. You are not losing, you are evolving. The version of you that wished their approval is death. The version of you that begged for crumbs is being buried. And rising from the one's ashes is a soul clothed in divine fireplace, equipped to take return what was stolen, geared up to step into locations that eyes have not visible and ears haven't heard. You were chosen for more. And that they knew it. That's why they feared you. It really is why they tried to silence you. It's why they positioned a person else to stand where you had been purported to be. However, what they didn't comprehend is this. You cannot update what becomes sealed in heaven. They will take the seat, however they may not final. They will wear your gown, however it's going to not in shape. They may stroll to your call, however it will not deliver the load. For I've written your name on a throne that nobody else can take a seat on. You aren't forgotten. You are not forsaken. The technique has been painful, but the reward is coming. The rejection was necessary for the redirection. The betrayal became required for the step forward. Every tear turned into 4x for a more grace. Each sleepless night was an altar that invited heaven to intrude. And now it's far occurring. Slowly. Quietly. Powerfully. You're moving into the times where the unseen will become visible. In which the damaged becomes stunning. In which what turned into hidden will become venerated. Folks that laughed will watch you upward thrust. Those who plotted will become confused. Folks that underestimated might be undone. I'm now not completed with you. The story they attempted to rewrite will be restored word by means of phrase with fire for my throne. You aren't your beyond. You aren't your pain. You are not their opinion. You're mine. And because you're mine, what they stole will return sevenfold. What they mocked might be the very aspect they want. And what they replaced will be your revelation. It is confirmed that you may be changed via someone quickly. However, that is not your ending. That is your beginning. That is your affirmation. This is the mark that heaven has authorized your improve. When Guy pushes you out, I step in and bring you better. Whilst human beings close doors, I split open skies. When the arena says, no, I create a brand new language of, sure. Allow them to move. Let them speak. Let them overlook. You, baby of promise, aren't taking walks backward. You're being summoned into destiny. You'll see matters within the next season that make you forget the pain of this one. You'll stand in locations you most effective dreamt of, walk in miracles you simplest read about, and bring a joy that nothing and no one might be able to thieve again. There are angels on task in your cause. There are prayers you forgot you prayed that are now coming alive. There may be a love on the way to update the betrayal. There may be a fire so one can update the ashes. There may be laughter as a way to replace the mourning. Hold on. You're closer than you realize. Do not look back. Do now not reside on what they did. I can deal with that. I can vindicate, restore, grace, and crown. You just remain devoted. Hold your coronary heart clean. Maintain your spirit open. Maintain on foot even if the street disappears. I am the way. And I'm able to make a way where none existed before. This message is for you. It has followed you. It has waited till you were prepared. You have been now not geared up before. But now, in this moment of heartbreak, in this pain of misunderstanding, on this burning of injustice, you're sooner or later ready to upward thrust. You may no longer upward push in anger. You may upward thrust in grace. You'll not upward push for revenge. You will upward push for revelation. You may no longer upward push alone. You will rise with those who have been sent to like you merely, protect you fiercely, and walk with you boldly. This is not the cease. This is your release. That is your rebirth. This is the moment wherein your spirit is awoke, your soul is strengthened, and your destiny is unlocked. And the arena will recognize. They'll recognize who they attempted to replace. They'll see what they tried to eliminate. And they may recognize, too late, that what they pushed away became the very matters sent to bless them. And in that moment, you may not gloat. You'll now not scorn. You'll definitely smile, carry your hands to the sky, and take into account this message. For it'll echo inside you. God says, it's far confirmed that you'll be replaced by someone quickly because of what their hearts couldn't preserve, but what I've positioned in you can't be undone, cannot be erased, and cannot be transferred. You're selected, and your seat at my desk remains untouched. Now pass, child of the Most High. The shaking isn't always your give up. It's far the signal that a while has come. Heaven stands. The angels lean in. The winds convey your call. And the subsequent chapter is ready to begin, written no longer via man, but via the writer of all things, whose ink by no means fades, whose promise never lies. Amen. Critical alert. Jesus is pronouncing this now with urgency. If you walk away from this message, in case you near your heart to this divine warning, your house, and the entirety related to your peace, your your future may additionally start to disintegrate in the next 10 minutes. This isn't a scare tactic. This isn't fear. That is reality from heaven. And in case you forget about this, you're ignoring the precise message that was behind schedule inside the heavens just to reach at this second in your soul's rescue. Open this before day after today. You don't know what's coming, but heaven does. You do not see who's working against you, however God sees. And Jesus is announcing now, I can't defend what you might not give up. I can't cowl what you continue to conceal. There may be something very darkish circling your life, and the time to be silent has ended. God is exposing this lady. You should open your spirit earlier than it is too late. For too lengthy, you've been surrounded by using confusion. For too lengthy, you've tried to fix everything by yourself. You tried to pray, but your voice felt blocked. You tried to sleep, however your dreams were shaken. Something is incorrect, and you feel it. You've been wearing an unusual energy, a weight you did not invite. And now the fact is being unlocked. Due to the fact someone close to you, a person you depended on, has been running behind the curtain to delay, distract, and drain your non-secular strength. You were alleged to be further by way of now. You have been supposed to be dwelling in victory by way of now. However, there has been sabotage. There was interference. There was witchcraft, jealousy, manipulation. And now Jesus is pronouncing, I have had enough. I'm tearing it down. I'm exposing her. I'm revealing the female who has secretly envied you, spoken against you, and tried to assert what become by no means hers to maintain. You'll no longer lose your house. You will not lose your motive. You may no longer lose your promise. But best if you obey now. Jesus isn't always pronouncing this lightly. This is not an everyday day. That is a tipping factor within the spirit. You have entered an emergency window of divine decision. 10 minutes of grace before certain plans are unleashed. 10 minutes before the angels assigned in your safety shift their role. 10 minutes before a door closes which you cannot reopen. Open your coronary heart. Read every phrase. Let nothing distract you. Due to the fact what you are approximately to look is not only a message. It is a divine rescue. They notion you'll be blind for all time. They concept they may live close to you and harvest your energy even as you remained unaware. They called themselves your buddy, your sister, your religious guide, but inside their coronary heart was delight, comparison, and envy. She noticed your mild and decided she could wear it as her personal. She studied your movements. She watched how others had been attracted to you. And slowly she began copying you, mimicking your words, shaping herself in your picture. But the spirit in the back of her is not of God. The spirit in the back of her is dispatched to lie to. And the cause your lifestyles has been shaking recently is due to the fact you have been spiritually unequally yoked with a person heaven never called. You may be aware how certain matters handiest move wrong while she is close to. You'll see how your strength drops after speaking to her. You will start to do not forget how her advice never results in fruit. You may observe how blessings seem to pause whilst she inserts herself. God says, that isn't always an accident. That could be a sample. And I am exposing it now because I'm able to no longer permit her feed from your table. You're my child, says the Lord, and I'm able to no longer permit her continue to rob you. She may wear masks. She can also photobee type. She may also talk in non-secular language. But her heart is complete of corruption, and her assignment is apparent. She turned into scent to postpone your future. But heaven has declared, her time is up. You've got prayed for exposure. You have got cried for clarity. You have requested me, Lord, what is incorrect? Why is my lifestyle stuck? Why does it experience like something is off? That is why. She is why. You maintain letting her returned in. You hold ignoring the crimson flags. You keep justifying her movements. But now I'm disposing of the veil. And what you do next will determine what occurs in the subsequent 24 hours. In case you stroll away from this message, if you harden your coronary heart, you may stroll into confusion. You may allow get right of entry to a spirit that need to have been solid out. But in case you obey, in case you pay attention, if you consider that that is me speaking through my spirit, then you'll see the biggest step forward of your lifestyles. You may witness the finest divine reversal. And everything that changed into stolen from you'll come rushing returned with interest. The enemy has performed too many games together with your peace. You've been taking walks on eggshells, questioning what's real and what's deception. But not anymore. You are entering into fact. And reality usually reasons disruption. Fact usually causes shaking. But it additionally causes recovery. Due to the fact after you see it, you can't unsee it. Once you confront it, you may eventually reclaim your pleasure. This is what the enemy by no means desired. He desired you to stay unswerving to what becomes sent to break you. But I am the Lord, and I am a jealous God. I'm able to no longer share your soul with manipulation. I will no longer permit the devil to masquerade as mild for your circle anymore. This is not just about friendship. This isn't pretty much a courting. That is about spiritual alignment. This is approximately the door of favor that has been looking to open. You've got questioned why the miracles are behind schedule. You have cried over why the promises felt paused. Right here is the reality. Sure, spirits can't move where I'm taking you. And unless you release them, I can't provide you with the fullness. My child, this is your hour. And your second's far from a second with a view to change your lifestyles for all time. I need to provide you the residence. I want to present you the growth. I need to release the inheritance. But my spirit can't dwell where deception is tolerated. So I'm supplying you with the command. Release the counterfeit. Expose the witchcraft. Deny the manipulator. And embody the truth. Even if it's painful. Even though it breaks your heart. Because your spirit has been suffocating under the weight of false connections. It's time to breathe once more. It's time to upward push again. It is time to stroll in your proper authority. I understand you've been worn out. I recognize you've been questioning your worth. I realize you've got regarded round and felt like everyone else became moving ahead. However, you aren't at the back of. You had been being included. The delays had been not denial. They were preservation. Due to the fact I knew that if I blessed you too soon, she could have stolen it. She could have claimed it. She could have used your victory to feed her delight. However, now the blessing will include purity. Now the favor will include fire. Now the breakthrough will come without aggregate. Due to the fact I'm purging your direction. I am cleansing your space. I am casting off the leeches and liberating the mild. Do not panic whilst she starts evolved to behave out. Do now not fear whilst she tries to retaliate. She has no power over you. I have sealed you. I've included you. I have assigned angels to shield you. But I cannot allow her to stay. So do not invite her returned. Do not entertain her sorrow. Do now not trust her apology if it comes without genuine repentance. This isn't about revenge. That is about righteousness. This is not approximately punishment. This is about safety. Jesus is talking sincerely now. There may be a shift occurring within the heavens. And if you forget about this, the consequences will begin within the herbal. There are contracts waiting to be broken. There are homes getting ready to shaking. There are foundations that should be repaired. This is bigger than you. That is generational. The decision you're making proper now is going to impact your bloodline. Will you be the only who breaks the sample? Will you be the only who says no more? Will you sooner or later forestall protecting the spirit it really has been blocking your circle of relatives is healing? You can sense like that is too heavy. However, you're robust sufficient. You have been built for this. You were anointed for this confrontation. You have been chosen to be the light bearer. And that's why the darkness has fought you so violently. But now heaven is backing you up. This message become divinely written for your soul. You were led to it at this specific hour due to the fact God refuses to permit you to perish in lack of expertise. That is love. That is mercy. This is caution. 10 minutes from now, matters will begin to shift. What you decide now will echo into your next season. If you obey, You'll see unexpected launch, economic overflow, emotional peace, prophetic readability, own family recuperation, religious joy, divine connections. But in case you ignore this, in case you hold to what has been cursed, the shaking will begin. And you'll locate yourself wondering what went incorrect when heaven was looking to prevent all of it along. Subsequently, God is exposing this girl. She has been running underneath cover too lengthy. Her words had been candy, but her spirit became bitter. Her prayers sounded holy, but her coronary heart was complete of contention. She was in no way intended to stroll with you into future. And now the masks is off. You spot her. You feel it. And now you must circulate. Do not provide an explanation for. Do not put off. Don't ask others for permission. You heard God. And that is sufficient. Jesus is watching. The angels are recording. The home windows of heaven are geared up to pour. However, obedience is the key. Do not pass over this. Do no longer permit this caution being useless. You have 10 minutes of divine grace earlier than matters start to spark off. Your status on the brink of the whole thing you prayed for. Leap forward. Communicate the fact. Launch the lie. And watch what I do subsequent. I'm the Lord. And that I do not lie. I said I might expose her. I said I would defend you. I said I'd restore you. Now watch me perform my